Hey there, this is Attorney Sarah Holmes of Holmes Business Law P.C. We are a business and trademark law firm that also offers an ongoing subscription service for business owners in the Philadelphia and mainline areas. Today we have the top 5 checklist for startups and small business owners. This is a number of issues that when you are looking to start a business, what types of things should you be aware of from a legal perspective? There's quite a few issues on here, but number 1 would be formation, meaning you do not want to do business as yourself. Doing business as yourself is basically a sole proprietor, which means that you have no legal protection around you at all. If you do something wrong in that business, if you get sued, there's no question that you would be sued personally, which could be very bad for you indeed. So you want to think about what type of business entity do you want to start. Most people, for ease of simplicity, will start an LLC, which is a limited liability company. Many people we hear them say, I'm starting an S corporation. S is in Sam. There is no entity that's an S corporation. S is a subchapter of the IRS code, and it is how you are taxed. But your actual legal entity that you form with the state is either an LLC or a C corporation, which is basically a regular corporation. Either one of those can be taxed as an S corporation if those tax benefits might apply to you. So think about what type of entity you want, and then make sure you have the proper documents for your entity. So you have to file the initial papers to get it formed. If it's just you may need a single member operating agreement. If you have partners, you're going to need a multi-member operating agreement. If you have a corporation, you may need a shareholder agreement if there's more than one. If it's just you could use your bylaws. So be aware of what types of documents and things you also need to support the type of entity that you set up. Number 2 is, should you protect your business name or logo or slogan? That would be a federal trademark process most of the time, and that would require a search at the federal level. If you are in what we would call a competitive category of business, so things that have to do with pets, makeup, beauty, food, all types of things like that, where naming and branding are really strong differentiators of products, trademarks are usually critical for those types of businesses. If you're simply doing consulting work and most of your clients are coming from people you know, or the name of your business is your own, maybe trademarking is not something that really applies to you or is not a big deal when you first start out. Always consult with an attorney to see what might be the best time to trademark your business or if it's really necessary for you. But if you're interested in that process, it can take a long time, although that's just the time that it takes the office to process your application. It doesn't mean that in the meantime you can't be using the name for your business, because ultimately that's a requirement to get a registration through in the first place, is actually using it. So think about whether you want to use the trademark process to protect things like your brand, your logo, your slogan, the name. Next is think about what types of insurance you need. Insurance is really critical to protect your business from lawsuits. If somebody trips and falls in your office and cracks their head open and they sue your business, you want to make sure you have insurance to cover that. On the same token, if you have a services business where you're doing services for people, let's say you're a consultant, you want to make sure you have the right insurance to cover those types of claims. Like, for example, if you were to give someone bad consulting advice and they sue you, that's actually a different type of insurance policy that would cover those claims. Also, figure out if you're storing any kind of data, if you have employees, there's different types of insurances you need. Always make sure you have the right type of insurance for your business. You should always have a really good commercial insurance agent, which might not be the same person as like your home insurance or your car insurance. If you need any referrals, you can always ask our office and we're happy to help. Next would be make sure you have proper contracts set up. So contracts could be things like whether you're hiring independent contractors, it could be other vendors you're going to do business with, it could be your own clients you need a contract to do business with them. It could also mean things online that we're going to talk about in a second, like terms of service, privacy policy. Those are all different types of contracts that can protect you in different ways. Contracts are really critical to set the expectations of the parties, to make sure you get paid on time, to make sure that you outline who's going to own the things that you produce for your clients. So contracts are another way to protect yourself, and that's things that you may want to have set up properly in the very beginning. Finally, think about what types of online issues you might encounter. So that's things like the terms of service, a privacy policy for your business. Do you need to have different types of disclosures or disclaimers on your website depending on what types of goods or services you're selling? And those would also be things you want to have right away, especially as you first set up the website and you're going into business online. Of course, if you have any questions about any of the startup issues or any tips or need some recommendations, feel free to reach out to our office. Our number is 215-482-0285. Thanks.